In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves through the media landscape, Paramount Global, the parent company of CBS News, has agreed to pay $16 million to settle a high-stakes lawsuit filed by President Donald Trump. The legal battle centered on a controversial 60 Minutes interview with former Vice President Kamala Harris, aired just days before the 2024 presidential election. The settlement, announced on July 2, 2025, marks a significant moment in Trump's ongoing war with the press, raising alarms about the future of journalistic freedom in America. The lawsuit, initially filed in October 2024 in the U.S. District Court in the Northern District of Texas, accused CBS News of deceptively editing the Harris interview to portray her in a more favorable light. Trump's legal team claimed the network violated Texas consumer protection laws by airing two versions of Harris's response to a question about the Israel-Hamas conflict, alleging the edits were designed to mask her word salad answers and mislead voters. The suit, which originally sought $10 billion in damages before being amended to $20 billion, labeled the edits as election interference and a deceitful manipulation of news. Trump's attorneys argued that CBS's actions tipped the scales in favor of the Democratic Party during a critical election period. Paramount Global, one of the largest media conglomerates in the United States, initially vowed to fight the lawsuit, calling it completely without merit and an affront to the First Amendment. In March, the company filed motions to dismiss the case, asserting that editing interviews for clarity and time constraints is standard journalistic practice. CBS released a transcript of the Harris interview, acknowledging that a fuller version of her response on the Gaza conflict appeared online but not in the broadcast. The network maintained that its edits were guided by truth and journalistic integrity, not political bias. However, behind closed doors, Paramount's resolve began to waver as Trump and his allies intensified their attacks. The president took to Truth Social, accusing CBS of election fraud at a level never seen before, and calling for the Federal Communications Commission (FCC) to impose penalties. FCC Chair Brendan Carr, a Trump appointee, fueled the controversy by announcing a probe into CBS's New York affiliate WCBS for potential news distortion violations. This pressure, combined with Paramount's looming $28 billion merger with Skydance Media, a deal requiring FCC approval, appears to have tipped the scales toward settlement. The $16 million payout, which will fund Trump's future presidential library rather than going to him personally, comes with no apology or admission of wrongdoing from Paramount. As part of the agreement, 60 Minutes has committed to releasing transcripts of future interviews with U.S. presidential candidates, subject to redactions for legal or national security reasons. This policy, dubbed the Trump Rule by some, aims to increase transparency but has sparked debate about its implications for editorial freedom. The settlement has ignited a firestorm within CBS News and beyond. Staffers at the network, already reeling from months of internal turmoil, expressed outrage over what they see as a capitulation to political pressure. The resignation of 60 Minutes executive producer Bill Owens in April and CBS News president Wendy McMahon shortly after underscored deep divisions within the organization. Veteran correspondent Scott Pelley publicly criticized Paramount's leadership, warning that the settlement could damage the reputation of CBS and 60 Minutes. Press freedom advocates, including the Freedom of the Press Foundation, have condemned the decision, with some calling it spineless and a direct challenge to the First Amendment. The Writers Guild of America East, representing CBS journalists, labeled the settlement a transparent attempt to curry favor with the Trump administration to secure the Skydance merger. Critics argue that this settlement is part of a broader pattern of media companies bending to Trump's influence. In December, ABC News paid $15 million and issued an apology to settle a defamation suit over false claims by anchor George Stephanopoulos. Decisions by The Washington Post and the Los Angeles Times to withhold endorsements of Harris in 2024 have also been linked to fears of regulatory retaliation. With Trump's administration threatening to prosecute outlets like CNN, the Paramount settlement raises urgent questions about the chilling effect on journalism. As Paramount navigates its merger and Trump continues his crusade against perceived media bias, the fallout from this case could reshape the relationship between the press and political power. For now, the $16 million payout stands as a stark reminder of the high cost of challenging a president who wields both legal and regulatory might.